Hello, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Today is the 15th anniversary since my brother passed away, my brother Tim Gilson, and he had muscular dystrophy and he was 25 years old, and I thought, as I'm sure lots of people sadly who've gone through grief will know, that the first sort of 6 or 7 years, probably six, 7, 8 years are just painful grief. And now I find that as the years go on that I'm more concerned about forgetting him. I think that's my biggest worry. So what I thought I would do today to mark the 15 years, which is crazy to think it's 15 years has gone past, I would do a 15 interesting facts, I think interesting facts, about him. He was a really big football fan, but really loved also the stats around the football. So he could quote you really random facts about certain football games and who had scored and when the game was and what the final scoreline was and stuff. It was yeah, he had a bit of a stato brain for football stats. He used to play online games, so this is the days of dial-up, and he used to play games and win really random prizes, and things would just come through the post, like cookbooks and things. Like, where did this come from? Oh, I don't know, it was just some game or other. He once won a art competition at school. This was a competition to design the school's Christmas card that year, and he won it, and I wish I could show it to you. It was really good. I'm sure my parents have still got a copy of it. He took a Spanish GCSE the year he died, just for the fun of it, which is quite funny really, being he failed French GCSE twice, which is impressive. He hated mushrooms and we'd be able to pick them out however small my mum cut them up. I once annoyed him, or enraged him rather, so much that he ran his wheelchair full pelt into me, and I've still got the scars on my shins to prove it. I've got little lumps, and yeah, he was more upset about it than I was. I used to pluck his eyebrows. He was a real Friends geek. He was the one who first introduced me to Friends. He was at university in Swansea and he used to watch it on S4C, and I remember, like, on our weekly phone calls that he used to phone home, he was telling me all about this new programme called Friends. My goodness, this is really going back some years, and yeah, so he and I used to start watching it, and then we really started doing the Friends quotes. It was really good. He once was quoted in saying that his ultimate carer would have been Toby Anstis. The last football match that he went to, and we actually went together, was the 2000 FA Cup final between Villa and Chelsea, and it was the last football game to be played at the old Wembley with the Twin Towers. So yeah, happy memories. Obviously Villa lost, so you know, it was that whole game that Dennis Wise went up with his child. I'll never forget it. But yeah, that was his last ever football match. When he finished university, he volunteered at Slimbridge in Gloucester on their magazine, and this is sort of going back along. You know, online work was kind of starting in its infancy, and yeah, so that's why I have my love for the World Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust, in case anyone was ever interested in why I was so passionate about ducks. That was because Tim started it. He loved just going to things, so he would get tickets for stuff, things like sort of Cheltenham Literary Festival and comedy gigs, and then organise a carer to take him afterwards. So whenever I was home from university or whatever, I used to get to go to stuff. So yeah, I think that was I've never been to so many things from when I was with Tim. Yeah, really, I think Phil Jupitus was my favourite. I remember that one. That really stands out. To football games. In Euro 96, when it was in England, he just applied for loads of tickets and just thought, right, well, I'll just apply for everything, and I'll organise someone to take me afterwards. And there was one time where they picked up through the post, and it just got picked up with all the other posts and newspapers and stuff that's on your kitchen table, and it wasn't until they found it afterwards that they'd missed the game. So they had so many tickets, they even missed one, and he always said that the Dutch fans were the most generous and kind, so he was always an honorary Dutch fan. When I passed my driving test, my first trip out as a newly qualified driver was with Tim, and I think we must have just gone into Gloucester, but because he had no upper body strength, when you went round a roundabout you had to stick your hand up to hold him. So I used to go round, and it was for years later I would still go round a roundabout and instinctively put my arm out. My son's middle name is Timothy. I really miss him.